Welcome everyone back to Mr. Dar Weather Updates. In today's video, we'll look at the live radar, look at the UKV, looking at the temperatures for the next 5 days, and the temperatures as well, look at the GFS, ECM, and the Euro ensembles for the next couple of weeks. And I have that for you in a moment. So let's start off with the live radar. You can see there is finally some rainfall in the UK. You can see the first batches here. We've got some fairly moderate to heavy persistent rain in southwestern Scotland. This is moving east again. These could be locally heavy at times on the hills. Further south, we've got a band of showers moving into Western England, where I live actually. I can see it coming now. That's going to move east as well. Could be some moderate showers at times. Further south, there's a few showers around Cambridgeshire and southern Lincolnshire as well. Near Peterborough, not coming to much though. I think the most it's going to get to is around, if you look at the key, it's going to be about 4mm at the very most from these showers. So, fortunately, not really toppling to too much. There will be a fair shower of more. There'll be some more for Sunday morning though. If you look at the UKV anyway, have a look at the temperature station and temperatures for the next 5 days. Again, it's been quite a damp and dreary day with a lot of drizzle and obviously some moderate showers at times, especially throughout the night. Now, as we get into Sunday, we are continuing the theme of showers really. Some scattered showers, locally heavy at times, especially in northwestern England. But throughout the day, that cloud will slowly start to break up, revealing more sunshine as well in between them showers, especially as you heard further east as well. Monday doesn't look too bad actually. Some patchy showers possible at times. Variable cloud cover, not bad actually. If I'm being completely honest, a bit of cloud though at times, not too bad at all. As we're going to Tuesday, a bit more unsettled for Ireland and Scotland, but England is going to be avoiding it for mostly. Maybe the odd shower creeping into England as well. And as we get throughout Tuesday, more heavy pulses of showers possible, especially in northern England, and that's on Tuesday. It's a little bit unsettled there, and the cloud will start to break up after that. Wednesday looks very, very nice, really. Not much cloud at all, other than morning. We've also got Scotland as well. Still unsettled for Scotland. Nowhere near they're going to get any of these heatwave conditions. Still lingering in some heavy and persistent rain, even still on Wednesday. We could even see some heavy totals coming up from the hills. So it could be quite persistent and heavy there as well throughout the week. We're looking over Thursday, very similar really for Scotland, as you can see there. You've got a bit of a squall line going on there in Northern Ireland. We need to watch that on the radar to see if that develops, but otherwise we've got another low pressure system in Scotland, bringing some very unsettled conditions for northwestern England. And a bit more cloudier though on Thursday, some variable cloud cover really, but otherwise not too bad. In England, like I said, Scotland, very unsettled really. Heavy rain is possible in the far northwest. So very far from settled in Scotland, unfortunately. So not feeling very summer-like there. Other than that, the rest of England is more towards the summer. If we have a look at temperatures for Sunday, you can see. This is obviously temperatures for Sunday. You may have noticed the temperatures are they have definitely dropped quite a substantial bit over the couple of weeks. This is probably the coolest day of July, probably, because it's, one of the coolest days, really, especially northwestern England. So northwestern England, UK, is around the mid-teens, perhaps even low teens. So probably the highs have 19 degrees in the far southeast of Scotland. So feeling very cool there. In Scotland, northwestern England, we are lingering again in the high teens, low 20s. Could see 20 Celsius in the east. Rest of areas were in the low to mid 20s. So around average for time of year, 24, perhaps even 25 Celsius, likely in the far southeast. So it's a little bit warm there, but nowhere near. More around average, pleasant really. Over to Tuesday, Monday, very similar conditions really. Still in Scotland, if not very identical. If not in Scotland, mid-teens still, 19 degrees is the most likely temperature, as most highest temperature we'll see. Northern England, high teens, low 20s. This time we could see 21 or 22 Celsius this time, so a little bit warmer there. And then finally, southern and central England. You can see around the low to mid 20s. If not, the temperatures are a little higher, creeping into that warmer continental air, really. So around 24, 25, perhaps even isolate 26 Celsius is very well possible as well. So starting to get a bit of an increasing areas of the, the temperatures. Okay, so sorry about that. Looking over to Tuesday, you may notice that the heatwave thresholds are starting to be met once again in the usual areas, really, if anything. Otherwise, still, Scotland, mostly in the low teens, in Western Scotland. Otherwise, Eastern Scotland, a slightly warmer day. This time we could be seeing the 20s, just a little bit more. So 20, 21 Celsius is likely, so a bit warmer there for Eastern Scotland, especially. Northern England, once again, we're in the high teens, low 20s, perhaps even mid 20s in some areas. A little bit warmer there as well. Only if you go more east, 25 Celsius is likely in northeastern England on Tuesday. The Midlands and Southern England, we are likely to see the mid to high 20s, so 27, 28, 29, maybe even isolate 30 Celsius in the Greater London region. Start to creep up to the heatwave thresholds once again, like we have for quite a lot this summer. Wednesday could be one of the hottest days so far, especially in the southeastern areas of England. So you can say, but there is a huge contrast to Scotland and southern England. We're still in the low teens, low to mid teens in northwestern Scotland. But we could see 21 Celsius in eastern Scotland. Northern England, a bit of a contrast there, mid to high 20s, perhaps even low 30s in the east. Otherwise, rest of areas are in the low to mid 30s, 34 Celsius is likely, perhaps even an isolate 35 Celsius. So very hot. But we have seen 35 Celsius quite a lot this summer, so it's getting a little bit less unusual. Finally, looking over to Thursday, it's getting a lot cooler though. The heat does start to retreat east. We're getting more of a breakdown going. Scotland, not as cool, but still quite cool for the time of year. Mid-teens, perhaps high teens, low 20s, 20 degrees is possible. In Northern England, we're in the high teens, low 20s, maybe mid-20s in the east. And then finally, we are in the southern England, we're in still in the mid-30s, 33 Celsius still likely. Perhaps in the far east a bit higher, but still, we're starting to retreat back to a little bit. But the hottest day will probably be Wednesday. Very, 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 and I mean very quickly, I want to look at the Cape levels, see if we get any fundy activity going on. Now, something I've noticed just July is the lack of fundy activity in July in general compared to the rest of the year. Now, unfortunately, I don't really see too much signals. I see some Cape at times, but nothing really outstanding like the other heat wave in June. I should have been there really. But not seeing too many signs. Could see some Cape levels though, building up to the west. That could even move in. That could move its energy up. We'll have to see. Hopefully we do, because I want to see a Fundy breakdown and I want to record it for you. But we'll have to see what happens there. And very, very quickly look at the relative humidity levels for the heat wave and see how humid this is going to be. This will actually help us see if this will be a thundery breakdown or not. So let's have a look. So looking at Wednesday, which is the hottest day so far, it's a relatively dry heat really. Where we do see the mid-30s, our humidity levels could be in the mid-20s. Feeling very pleasant though. At 25 Celsius, that's 25 degrees. Sorry, 25%. Bit more humid on Thursday, but still quite dry in the east, because obviously it's retreating a little bit. And looking at the dew points again, you'd expect them to be quite low, really, if it's a dry heat, because that's the relative humidity levels. I'll do an explainer video on that if I advise enough, but still, mostly quite low dew points. A lot higher in the northwest because we've got more humid air really. see, yeah, a lot more than that. But otherwise, we could even see in the single figures in the southeast in the week. Looking at the GFS models, again, we're a bit of a changeable theme this weekend. Showers and long spells of rain in Scotland. Then we've got that high pressure building in, bringing some quite hot air with low pressure to the west. As we go throughout August, we're getting more of a changeable theme, really, with higher, more of like a neutral pattern, really, with low pressure to the north and high pressure to the south. Then it builds up a little bit. Does that builds up a trough going on in northeastern England? So it can be quite unsettled there as well. And we've got high pressure to the Atlantic, low pressure to the north. That will be changeable at times, but not that unsettled though, according to the GFS 0Z run. Looking at the 6Z run, again, we've got some low pressure systems affecting Scotland, showers in England. High pressure builds up, bringing warm continental air and low pressure to the west, which will feed it. And as we go into the early stage of August, we've got an increasing low pressure pattern in the northwest, bringing winds from the north or northwesterly wind, bringing a very changeable pattern until the 10th. So probably the period between the 10th and the 4th and the 10th will be very changeable, perhaps a little bit unsettled at times, with some cooler temperatures to come as well. Similarly, on the 12Z run, isn't it? Yeah. Again, we've got low pressure to the north, bringing some long spells of rain for Scotland. High pressure builds in, bringing that heat wave thresholds, and may even see a thundery breakdown, like I said. And obviously, low pressure will always be to the northwest, bringing changeable conditions with a trough forming in the north. And you can see that, yeah, there's a bit of a trough forming at the south there, so we've got unsettled with a ridge forming in the Atlantic as well. Finally looking at the 18Z run, again, we've got obviously high pressure retreating. We have low pressure to the north affecting us for a little bit, then it comes back. High pressure comes back from the continent, bringing a southwesterly direction from the winds, so very hot air coming on there, quite humid at times in the northwest. A trough forms as well, but I think this is a thundery trough actually. I hope it is, but it looks like some kind of thundery trough or something that will be made because this is after the heat wave, pushing the hot air out of the way. And again, it could be quite changeable as after that projectile breakdown into August. Could be cooler, a bit more showery as well. If we have a look at temperatures for some of these, seeing again, I'm expecting it to say what it said quite a few days ago with the temperatures saying with this heat wave. So if you look at Wednesday, which was the peak, GFS is still saying the mid to high 30s, even though we're moving closer to it. I don't think we're going to reach this. It can't be ruled out, but again, it's unlikely, really. If we look at the 6Z run, again, it's very similar, really, if not a little bit closer to the ECMWF run. Oops, that's Thursday, isn't it? So let me just go on to this one. Again, pretty much in full agreement with the other GFS runs, really. Yeah. So yeah, we're likely to see some mid to high 30s if this had to verify it. Oh, very, 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 very unlikely. I'm not going to put it in the thumbnail because I don't think it's going to happen. But, we'll have to see. So, yeah. And then 12Z run, again, very similar, really. If not a little bit closer to the UKV and ECMWF and Met Office, it's saying about them temperatures there. 18Z run says quite similar temperatures as well. So most of these GFS models are in agreement that this is going to happen, really. But we'll have to see what happens. It's unlikely to be that high. It retreated from 40 Celsius a few days ago, but, it's going to be more like the ECMWF one, which is more accurate, as you know. This is the ECMWF. Again, we've got a northwesterly regime, so showers, long spells of rain. For Scotland, less likely for England, though. High pressure ridges in, bringing some warmer continental air from the southwest, with a changeable pattern moving into August. Showers, long spells of rain, perhaps even strong winds at times. Quite a lot of ice bars, but still could be a bit above average as well. It's not exactly cool, but we can see here, the 4th of August, we've got a deep air of low pressure. That could be quite strong winds. Look at that tightening. It's an unusual low pressure system. That could be, if that had to verify, we could see a named storm, like we did this time last year, if you remember. I think it was Storm Flois. This could be quite similar, actually. Could be another named storm with more winds possible. I mean, not bad, I guess. You know, it's expected. You can make your run. Low pressure to the north. That is retreating. High pressure builds in from the southwest, bringing winds in from the north-southwest, bringing some warm continental air, and then we get more of a changeable theme going into August, in particular in early August for the first 10 days. This temperature is at 850 HPA, suggesting temperatures up to the 20-degree isotherm. On Thursday or Wednesday, that would get you temperatures up to 30 to 35 Celsius, which is showing quite nicely with this. If I really quickly just look at the ECM one on the 850 HPA temperature, and see what it's going to say about these temperatures. I think they are definitely underdoing it just a little bit, though, if I'm being honest, but still could see 17-degree isotherm at some point, perhaps 18 degrees, so a little bit cooler from the ECMWF. Only this is run 1, but still, it's not ruled out. So yeah, most likelihood we're going to see heatwave 4 before the end of July, and it could turn a little bit changeable on the first 10 days of August. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in